What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin the Tech Ninja. In today's video, we're comparing the DJI Mini 3 Pro versus the DJI Mini 3. Similar names, similar drones, but there's some differences that makes one pro and one not. The Mini 3 Pro is the one I bought when it first came out, and I have around 10 hours of flight on it. The purchase price was $909, and that came with the DJI RC remote. More on that soon. The price of just the drone with a basic remote is $750. The DJI Mini 3 is $499 with a basic remote seen here, or $639 with the DJI RC remote. A big thanks to BHPhoto for sending out the DJI Mini 3. They're a big help to my channel and they send stuff out to let me review it. So if you do want to pick it up, make sure you use my link down below at BHPhoto. So for both drones, having the DJI RC is worth it. You know, not having to use your phone is so freeing. Number one, it's a larger screen, it gets very bright, and it's less fuss when it comes to software. So I do recommend picking that up no matter which drone you get. Now, as far as design, both drones are nearly the same. The Pro is a little bit bigger to account for the avoidance sensors, but not by much. They're even the same weight at 249 grams, which is the magic number so you don't have to register to fly the drone. So you may be asking, what's different? Now, a few things can go a long way. Both drones have obstacle avoidance sensors, but the non-Pro only has the downward positioning. The Pro has forward, backward, and downward. So as you can see here, when I fly towards myself, the non-Pro doesn't have a sensor to avoid me. It would have hit me, and the Pro actually dodges me. It goes above me, left or right. It figures out a way to get around me. And that's huge when flying the drone. You want it to actually not hit things. And for this to not have those sensors, it makes it a lot harder to fly. So when considering safety, I gotta give a point to the Pro. By the way, if this is your first time watching my channel, odds are it is. Hit that subscribe button, come join the family. I love to talk about technology, love to bring you the coolest things, love to do comparisons. So hit that subscribe button and let's make it happen. The Pro also has a 48 megapixel camera sensor, and when taking a look at images, you'll find that 48 megapixels is sharp. It also allows you to zoom in on objects you take pictures of without losing image quality. Now here's an example of two images taken from roughly the same location. And if you can take a look at me 2x zooming in and now 4x zooming in, you notice the 48 megapixel image still retains a lot of the image, whereas a 12 megapixel starts to fall apart. The Pro, you can also shoot at 4K 60 frames per second, and the non-Pro is locked at 30 frames per second. What does that mean? In a more simple term, 60 frames per second allows you to slow the video down or even shoot a more lifelike frame rate where things are just moving a little bit faster and it looks like the human eye. The Pro can also shoot D-Cine-like, which is a color profile that allows for more flexibility for coloring when editing. And when you compare that to the regular Mini, it doesn't have that. But if you're just posting videos to social media or don't care about special coloring, then that doesn't matter. But once you have that color profile applied to it, you can then make the colors look a whole lot better, but most people are not doing that. When I look at it, I feel the video quality is pretty much the same. Now comparing footage back and forth, I can't tell the difference until we go into 60 frames per second or moving that color profile around. But if that's not your thing, then I would say there's nothing to worry about on that part. If you're just posting to social media, I don't think that would really matter too much. Right now, the advantages of the Pro isn't that big of a deal. But when we talk about the core intelligent functions, that may change your mind. So the non-Pro does have access to quick shots, which is canned shooting built into the drone. And there's different like shooting styles that can make flying and getting that shot you want easier. You can do one where it shoots straight up in the air or circle around you and all that stuff. So yeah, it has that. The Pro has that, but it also has a few more features that you may or may not use. One feature is called Master Shots, which will go through and do different types of shots that you may see in movies. And it kind of just does it. It takes around 2 minutes and it gets you so many amazing shots over a POI or even over yourself. And what that does is sort of, instead of you having to use the camera, the drone while flying, you can actually say master shots so you can walk around and let it get some really cool shots of you. Also, there's Active Track, which is amazing. Active Track allows you to track objects while flying. And the coolest thing about that is that it will actually avoid objects when doing that. As you can see here, I'm showing the view from the controller. It is actually avoiding all the tree limbs as I'm walking. I'm not controlling it on the controller. I'm actually just walking, and it's doing its best to avoid all of these trim limbs, and it's doing a great job. It may be a little bit slow because there's a lot of limbs in the way, but at the end of the day, that feature is pretty cool. Also, I have used it a couple times tracking a jet ski, and I was able to just track it and also let it fly and follow it and things like that. So it's really nice to see, and it's a feature that I use a lot when I'm using my drone, and that's something I'm not willing to compromise on. And those features are only available on the Pro. The non-Pro actually has better battery life. I'm assuming for it to be smaller and also less sensors, but we're looking at 38 minutes on the non-Pro and 34 minutes on the Pro. In the air, both drones feel the same. They go the same speed, the same height. The software looks the same, minus some of the intelligent features. Overall, I find the Pro to be a safer drone to fly with all the extra sensors and also flying modes that makes things a whole lot easier. But for that price tag, do I think it's worth the extra money? I actually think so, but for me, I gotta say the Pro has those features that I actually use, but it depends on you and your use case and obviously your budget. And having the controller with the screen is a lot better than using your cell phone, but obviously that does come at a cost. But I will tell you, when using a cell phone, in my experience over the years, I wanted to use my drone less because I received calls and text messages, and it just wasn't the same great flying experience. There are some advantages of using a cell phone. You can live stream right from the drone and do a couple other things too, and actually have the footage on the phone pretty quickly. So whichever drone you go with, I do recommend picking up the RC screen too, but those are my thoughts and my opinions. I want to know what yours are. Sound off down below. Kevin the Tech Ninja, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.